Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Let's get ready for Gnosis. Now, let's talk about the two types of manifestation. And I'm not sure people understand these, so I've talked about this a wee bit in the past, but we'll go over it again. And that is basically what's called make magic or make manifestation. And against edge manifestation. Now, these are two important concepts in manifesting science that everyone needs to understand. Now, everybody wants make results, meaning that things change in front of you. You're actually going through a complete process of changing something into the form that you want it to be. Now, this is very difficult to do when you get into edge manifesting, which is where most things fall into. Now, if you want to make manifest something, now this would be like turning lead into gold. You use a particular ritual or process and it changes a substance which is not dependent upon human interaction to manifest. So this would be anything that you can physically change and directly. So it has to be some physical type matter. Now, when we're talking about most things, we're talking about a complicated human condition, which is giving you the edge, meaning the fact success magic. So if someone has success energies given to them or empowered them with, well, whether this is through using MechTech amulets, MechTech scalar discs, or any of the tools that we offer, or any tools from anybody else that has this interaction with you personally type technologies. Because of the fact that this is very subjective. What are your channels to manifest through? What is your situation? So it's not something you can just say, "Ew, I want money, I want $1 million." The whole idea is popping up money in a pot or box in front of you is not the kind of technology that's available at this time. If it does become available, it means that money has no value again. So people have to understand that if it goes massive. Now, the whole idea is to create with the edge technologies, which is pretty much what IGOS offers. It's edge technology. It gives you that important edge that's going to give you the opportunity to be successful. Can it make you successful? Well, that's the make technology that everybody would love. But there's too many variants. You're not a lump of lead that we can turn into gold. You're not a physical structure like that. So that type of technology, which may be possible here, and of course using subtle energy fields, informational energetic fields, and controlling them, the occultons, theoretically you should be able to transmute one physical item into another. But that's extremely advanced, and we're looking into this right now. There are levels of this now, which is called consciousness radionic type machines, which help you reach that particular level. Now, and it's still being worked on. Some physical results have already been done by others, and again, we're looking into this to find out, well, how far do you go with this? But that's really not here. We're talking about edge stuff, meaning the fact of how do you bring money to you? You have to have channels. Oh, I want lots of money, lots of money. Yeah, well, how is that going to come to you? So, ideally, something would happen in your life that would bring you as much money as you need or even want. This could be anything as winning a lotto, which of course a lot of people have to do that to bring any money. They really don't have channels. Channels are, how is the money going to come to you? You got a business or some way the money can come to you. Whatever that may be, there may be several ads. Then there's and this is more open direct channels, meaning you empower what you're doing so you're more successful at it, which generally means you make more money. Now, what if you don't have these channels? And this is the problem with most people. They're working, whether it's a good or bad job. Well, you're not going to make another $1,000 a month at a job unless you have that channel. Maybe you're in sales, etc., where you can get a big bonus or something. Well, this is possible and has happened in the past. with people that have jobs like that, but most people don't. So how is the money going to come to you? Well, there's an awful lot of ways that money can come to you, and a lot of that it's overlooked with people is things like discounts. You want to do something, fix your house, need a new roof. Well, you got $1,000 discount on that for some reason or another. Well, that's just put $1,000 in your pocket, so you just made $1,000. You could win a lotto, and this could be anywhere from a few bucks to thousands. It depends, and we've had people do that. Nobody has won the big jackpot, and when we figure that out, I'm not going to tell you. So this is the reality that people have. So you're getting this edge, meaning that whatever can manifest in your life, even in the most strange and what I call backdoor ways, will happen when you create a money magnet around you. Relatives you never heard of leave you money and you get contacted somehow. These are the type of things that happen, or in the backdoor reality, when there really is no direct channels for you to make money. But that's edge money. They get the edge. And that goes with almost everything. When it comes to protection, you're getting an edge. When it comes to so many things, you get the edge. So when you get into the make area, now the make means that manifests directly. You do a money empowerment, a manifesting empowerment, and it happens regardless. It virtually pops up in front of you. Now, you still have to have channels for that basically to come to you. So that would be a level of an edge technically in something like this, because there still is no direct make technology. As I said, making something happen regardless of your circumstances is what everybody wants. Now, this is elusive in terms of a direct noticeable empowerment because it still has to come through channels. So making, as I said, would be transmuting something. It would be taking a $10 bill and making it into a $100 bill. This would be ways of, quote, make magic, or making an investment that you made go up. Let's say you invested in a stock somewhere. Well, if you did make magic, that stock would be forced up. Now, this happens with rituals in general. You empower a company, and then their stock tends to go up. So now a make ritual would make it go up to high levels, or you would see instantaneous results. When you work on a stock for a company, the stock does go up when you empower that company. But it can be a slow process. It can be a little bit. It can be a lot. Again, this is an edge thing again. And of course, that is the reality that's out there. Is most things are edge-based because they're interacting with you personally. If you're a person like a stockbroker, or you're doing trades or investments, these are channels. And it means if you get empowerment, that you should be able to manifest in those. But you have to be realistic in the world. If we're going through a horrible depression like we're going through right at this particular time of this recording, well, trying to manifest anywhere is extremely difficult. So it's not the best time to operate. We're in a very confused time right now. What do we do about that? But there's still money to be made, and you should be guided of where to go. And this is the other thing that happens. It may not be direct, but you're going to be guided to where the best investments are, what to do, how much to put in. These are all the subtle things that people don't think about to maximize whatever profits you can get by making all these right decisions. And that's part of being empowered as well. So the process is based on these two realities. Now, the make out there, the make empowerments are not really something that I've seen happen too often, if at all. So if you're dealing with some sort of physical matter, well, this apparently seems to be something that may be able to be done right now. It's just shocking into itself. This actually of changing physical matter into another matter is quite shocking and has been demonstrated. We are trying again to verify this 100% before talking about it more. But that is quite amazing. What does that mean, and to what level of transfer of energy in terms of transmuting from one item to another can this be done? So theoretically, as I've said, you could turn lead into gold by changing the occulton energy fields from lead to gold. And they're two different fields. Now, Can this happen in such physical matter? Well, it's happened at a certain physical level, but what are the limitations, if any? You theoretically could change a $10 bill into a $100 bill by restructuring it. Well, this is quite fascinating. Does it work like that? Well, this is certainly something that we're looking into and seeing what the reality of it is. Now, is it limited? Can you only do this in a certain fashion? Can you only change things to a certain degree, or is it unlimited? So, when you get into this and you're able to affect physical matter directly, well, you would think that there's no limitations to it. But again, it is not something that you can do in your life, meaning you now change your energetic field to a positive wealth drawing field. What happens? So again, it's the interaction of the many different complicated issues of life. Where are the channels? How does things come to you? So it's very complicated when you get in those areas. So what you want to be is open all the time. You want to make sure that you are a money magnet. Now, what are the people who are successful, and I've studied this? Well, they're money magnets. They tend to attract people and openings and opportunities that nobody else does. And they get people to go along with them. They get people to invest with them. They get people to help them. So it's a process. It's not just all of a sudden $10 million is in their bank account. So it doesn't work like that. So it works within your life. And this gets complicated because most people are not rich stockbrokers and other people. They don't tend to use these methods for their own stupidity because they have money. They do regular stuff. So we have a whole bunch of problems here when we get into these things that is going on here to understand the manifesting process. So it's very important to understand the edge concept, because you have to be thinking like that. You have to be looking for opportunities. This is all very important. But most people are thinking about make. The whole idea is, oh yeah, money's going to come to me instantly. Where? So you may find $10 or 20 on the street, or even a few hundred. I mean, we've had cases like that, ironically, that somebody will find money on the street. But I mean, it's not a bag of money. And generally, if you find a bag of money somewhere, it may be very problematical because it ain't your money, and maybe people are looking for it. So there's dangers there. So what you're assuming is that nothing is connected to it. So the whole idea, you're not going to do things like that. You have to integrate it into your life, and that means you have to look for opportunities. You have to always be conscious of what is happening. It may be an opportunity to get into a certain little business to make money that comes to you oddly, or someone talks to you that doesn't normally, gives you some tips or information. These are the kind of things you have to look for. It could be a tip on a horse running in a race. It could be anything. It could be lotto numbers. Well, if someone's going to start talking about that and giving you information, you have to be open to it and use it. You got to follow through as well. You're not going to just be made a millionaire. This, of course, as I've said, is the ultimate manifesting. But how would that work if it became in success and so forth? Well, you would hope that you were made to make the right choices, made to make the right investments. But what does that mean? It's very subjective again, with your own area of contact and your own understanding of what you're doing. And well, if you're going to make a lot of money in investments, well, you have to be investing. So you just can't say, well, I want money. So, but the whole idea is keep that energy around you, and it will manifest as it can. With most people, you'll probably get some backdoor results as well as some front door results. And of course, that's how the edge technology, which is so important in life, works. The make technology right at this particular point in terms of interacting with your life is not something that seems to work directly like that. As I said, transmutation is quite fascinating and something that seems to be possible with the new understandings of how powerful these informational energetic fields are. But that's something for a later time. So I hope that clarifies the different types of manifesting and how they work within your life.